Good evening, guys, or good afternoon. It's 4:33 p.m. Today is September 13th. Today happens to be a Black Tuesday in terms of price action. But and today was the day where I did not publish the pre-market notes. So funny, huh? But anyway, so I had an idea. So we have to work off based off yesterday's closing remark, right? So yesterday's closing remark was like this. You can see end of the video, right? 9:12. So buyers have to hold about this week hunting levels to keep the control, but I am not feeling good for buyers and expecting some down move either tomorrow, which is today, right, or day after, which is Wednesday, right? So Tuesday or Wednesday I'm expecting a down move, right, because I'm not feeling good for buyers. See the statement, the tone is changed now, right? Regardless, even though there was an up move, constantly buying, right? It was going on crazily. But see the timing of the event. I didn't put this statement yesterday, right? Or sorry, day before yesterday, right? But yesterday, end of the day, I put this comment. And see today what happened, right? So the timing is also important. So you don't get a feeling all the time, right? But something is off. See. And it's not about the feeling. We can't base off the feeling, right? But my feeling doesn't come often. It only comes when there is a right timing. It's some intuitions. You get it. When you watch a lots of price action day in day out, you will know. Something is off. So and you can actually go back and look at previous pre-market notes. But you have to go through all the notes, right? And wherever you see me writing feeling not good, right, something like that, and I'm expecting a move, down move, up move, usually it happens within the next day or day after. Usually, you can literally, like go trade based off that feeling. But you have to manage it. But that's how it is. But anyway, so let's and then these are the messages in Discord, so you can see it here. So this is what I wrote. You can see here pre-market notes. I am not going to write today, so I will do it later, but use the chart comments to trade and levels basically above yesterday's high and whatever balance price built in the overnight above the last balance bottom. Buyers are super aggressive, right? So above that balance you can't do anything. You can't short it. But if it goes below it, and if you notice that today could be a trend down day, then you can short later on. But you have to watch the price action first, right? So this statement was written before CPI, right? CPI news was not released until 8:30, and then I also said 945 to 13,000 or 13,050 are the max in NQ today, right? So during CPI, price went to 987 above this area, right? It's already hitting the max limit, correct? That's the first clue. Okay, doesn't mean it has to go down. It can go higher too, right? But then when you see a reversal right after the CPI, after touching that 987, right, and then hold on, so and then it goes down, and then that's the next statement. See here, when down move happens, right, since I had a feeling, right? So when down move happens, then it will slice through couple of balances in one go in the morning in few minutes. That could be your visible sign, right? Today or tomorrow possibility. Second sign is 24-hour VWAP is important. If buyers fails to respond when price pulls back there, that's a more visible sign. Okay, so remember this statement. That was your pre-market notes pretty much, right? So 987 and the other one. So let me go back here, right? So see these things here. So that was published early in the morning, right? These levels. You can see this is a backup sellers area, right? When I published it, price was here, right? Around maybe this level, preferred sellers area, right? And dream number. Price sliced through after I published this note, right? Or these levels. And then it was hovering around here, right? This was our powerful blue line, right? And the pink line. They are powerful lines, pink lines, blue lines, yellow lines, very powerful lines, right? And this is the backup sellers area. So if you, for ES, you can also look at the same damn thing, so nicely done. Look at backup sellers area, right? Max target if they go crazy, right? So backup sellers area hit, backup sellers area hit during CPI, right? And then what do you see? Then you see a straight down move, right? Slicing through this mini balance, this balance. Now you know something is off, you know. And then this was yesterday's high, 850, right? It sliced through it like it was not there. See, that was your sign that whatever the feeling I had, it's coming true, you know. This was a sign, you know. And then by the time even if you act, price already was way down, right? It sliced through aggressive buyers, preferred buyers, backup buyers, all of them sliced through it, right? So by the time 8:35, since usually around 8:30 I am on roll, right, to drop my kids to school, so I missed the damn thing. Otherwise I would have a very nice day right in the pre-market, you know. But anyway, then you see here there was a slight pullback back to backup buyers area, right? And then it held it, correct? Then it went down and down and down, and it was opening around good support area. See, this was a good support area, and ES also, this was a good support area. Actually, yeah, this one, right? So price was opening into a good support area. So at that point I said, if sellers are really aggressive, right, then actually I talked about 600 area, somewhere into this area, you know, to short. So I will wait for a pullback. That is what I said. Otherwise I will not take trade unless there's something I can see of the open, then I can short at the tail end, you know. That was the idea. So yes, same thing. And then price was opening up here, and then we were talking in Discord at that time, right? When it opened, then I saw this 486 holding it, right? There was a rejection. So I played basically a short, a quick short, scalping short from here to here, you know. At the time ES was also touching 43 first time, you know, of the open, right? So I played only NQ at that time, not ES, right? Then price went down, and this was a key level, you know, this 27.25, which was, I think, this area was important support, right? So it was holding it here, right? So basically ES was stuck between 27 and 43, right? So you can't do anything actually here, right? But you can fade the edges, but it is like super aggressive. So here you can't do anything. When it bounced from 27, I said no longs, you know. You better wait for a short than going long here. It's a good support, you know, but you have to avoid it based on the overnight move, you know. Then at 9:54, which is this time, you know, NQ, before that it got a rejection from it, make a new low, you know. Then it bounced back up to this naked dream number, which was also previous days high or low, or, you know, from the past, 454 level, right, around 956. At that time I said ES is do or die, you know. Either it's gonna hold 43, if it slices through it, price is gonna go higher, because in that case 27 buyers basically won at that time, price will go higher. But if it fails to hold above 43 and gets a rejection, so that's where it's interesting, you know. So here you can take a short. Your stop has to be above this area, right? So here also I discuss, if 43 holds and price goes down, it could be a trend down day because of internals. They were holding it below zero line, and they were liquidation kind, right? So all the price has to do is just slice through this morning stuff, right? Hold this level. NQ has to do the holding this level aggressively, and this level goes down, goes through this yellow line. That is your trend down day confirmation, you know. And by the time internals you do not want to see rising, which was the case, right? They held it, this liquidation territory. Momentum was below zero line, right? This was a confirmation that trend down day is going on. At that point you could only look for shorts, no longs, you know. So first short we discuss about is when it breaks below 27.25 in ES, and then it pulls back and holds it. That is your short, which was this area, you know, which is this area right here, you know, which is this. And 10.17 NQ was testing this, you know, this good support after breaking it below. That was your short, right? So right here it was protected by VWAP also, right? And that's it. Now the profit taking is a problem today. No, shorting was not a problem, profit taking was a problem, because price was already so much down, you can't expect more, you know. So and NQ was touching this blue line or coming towards, so all you can target is the blue lines, and then you have to just back off, and then damn thing just ping pong for almost 3 hours, right? So if you traded this ping pong, you might have basically gave back all your profit from these shorts, so the key here is you wait for a location. So when you see this support, right, so ES was holding 4,000 basically, right? So yes, you can trade from here to 4,000, right? But then you have to take a profit. When you see this balancing, definitely stay away, right? Then what happened? Then price went up all the way to this VWAP, right, which was also first hour low. This was a good short here. NQ I was expecting 350, but it couldn't even get there. NQ went up to 335. Since ES reached here, ES reacted, NQ reacted. So NQ there was no trade here. ES there was a trade here, right? Or you wait for price to go down below this area, 4,000, because that was the area they were holding it, buyers, right? And this blue line was pretty much they were holding it, right? So once price goes through this area, then you have a green signal, right? Or when ES goes below 4,000, right, then you have a green signal. So that signal happened right here. See this thing here? So here you can technically say it's a double bottom, right? So you have to wait for this to break out, but this was 95 level, correct? But actual level was 4,000. So if you look at it here, this was the level, right? I didn't have a 95 level, correct? So it was like a stop run is going on here, but technically if you look at it 5 minute, this was the actual level they were holding it. See that? So the way you trade it here is you have to pay attention to 4,000 like this, right? So here, at this time it broke through these things, correct? After holding, it went above this level and break out, and then immediately fade, right? And then it held this here, right? But you can't short it here, and then it went down below 4,000, right? And then went even here, then pull back to 4,000, got a rejection. That's where you short, or you can even try here also, but you try here, at the same time you can short in NQ. But the question is how far it can go down. Probably this bold area, probably this exchange area, so this would be your exit right here, and that's pretty much it. There was a 83 level also in between somewhere here, so but you can bail out here. So now whatever happened after that, these things, it's not capturable, because I didn't even see past this area. I had this 74 and 48 in mind, right? That extreme case scenario, but then we don't look for extreme case, right? So up to this point it was fine, right? But then whatever this happened so fast, right? So only way you can hold this thing is if you are short from here, and if you have a stop here, and then you are able to withstand, let's say if there is a chop, then you can hold it through it. Otherwise you bail out here and you are done, right? After that there is no trading. Same thing goes for NQ. After 191, whatever happened, it's all bonus time, So that's how the day happened today, So I had a feeling, right? And the way it was behaving from last few days, the up, it was almost to the neck that now something is going to happen, right? But this damn thing happened so fast. See, look at this move from 4,000 to 39.50 or 40. There is no pause, it's like straight downfall, right? So technically, yes, sellers are aggressive, but price may come back here to revisit this area, either tonight or tomorrow morning, because if it doesn't come, then it's gonna just continue to tank, gap down and go. But most likely it may come up to this area, somewhere into this area or here, somewhere. And then these are our blue lines for ES, right? So NQ went below blue lines. Say after fighting, ES is still holding the blue lines, right? So ES has to go below this too, in order to get more sell off straight into this area, So we'll see how it goes. And in that case, NQ will go into 920, 12,000 somewhere. So we'll see how it goes, And so no Mboxwave today, because I didn't have a time, but let me see if I can, but anyway, I didn't have a time and I'm exhausted today. But Mboxwave, there is nothing to discuss today. You already know price was going down, 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 down. So I'm sure there would be a signals, to short. But let's see. Okay, while you are here, let me check. Hold on. Okay. So I opened it, right? So let's see if we can find something here. Correct? So okay. So this is yesterday's price action. So in my Discord, I said yesterday's entire price action, you can consider one box like this. That is what I said in my Discord, right? And then it has to basically hold above this box, or at least I said it has to hold above this area somewhere, this area. So that is the bottom line basically, for this buyers. That's all, So now let's move forward, right? So this is a basic stuff, nothing fancy about it. Okay, so then what do we see here? So it is holding this area, right? So we'll on the overnight, right? And then CPI. Okay, so now you can see also it was holding this area, correct? Basic support and resistance, right? Nothing fancy about it, correct? So and then it was holding it, right? So while it is holding it, right, let's see if there is a volume or something. We can count up the algos, right? So there was a swift up move here, right? Nice up move, and then it was holding here, holding here. There is another group of people bought it here, right? And now right of the open, before CPI news, right? So it was holding this area pretty much, right? And you can see there was a double algo here, right? And 577, 110, 62, which was decreasing, correct? And there was not much enough volume here, correct? So some divergence here, right? But algos were holding above this support line, right? So if it breaks below it, let's say during CPI, right? So if it breaks below it, then what? Then it can bounce from here, right? So at least this area is good enough area, for buyers to defend, right? But now the question is, do you want to go long here? That's the question, right? Technically you can if you see something, otherwise you would avoid it. Why? So because of this, see these things, right? So I'm not looking at here right now, but I know the values, the price, it was at here, right, around 850, which was super aggressive, going long above yesterday's high, super aggressive, so, and you can see this price action, see this straight up, correct? So it is too aggressive, it went higher too fast, first of all. Okay, so sometimes you have to use a common sense, right? So I usually don't go long super aggressively. I usually wait for a pullback. So this is not a conservative pullback, it's still above yesterday's high. So if it pulls back around here in this area, then I may try, but by the time price is already 200 point down, right? So then I'm not gonna go long, because then I'm going against the day's direction. I rather look for short into these areas, somewhere, right? So that is the idea. Okay, and then how price is coming down from where, that is also important, right? By the way, this was my level. You can check my Twitter also, but actually this was my level. It was my level, this area 987. Okay, and there was a line at 980, 945 also. Okay, in my Discord, the level which I gave as a part of pre-market notes. Okay, so now you guys, assume you guys don't know these things, right? So of the CPI news, right, while I was not here, what happened is, this is after the fact, price touched this level to the dot, right? And then it came down, right? So while you are watching these things, right, you can't do anything in this here, right? So but there was a breakout here. Now during the news, right, first 5 minutes you do not want to mess around, right? So you can't take this breakout first of all, okay? Super aggressive, so you have to wait, right? And then what happened, next minute it just sliced through this, which is, it makes sense, you know, you're not supposed to go long here, right? Then I said we can evaluate here at this area, right? A little bit conservative, but then, you know, if you look at 1 minute, let's say, so this was 791, right? So let's look at 1 minute, see if price even paused there, right? See, even 1 minute price did not even pause there, right? So there is no long, right? So when it sliced through these things, now you know something is off. Remember that 200 point down move? So now you know you don't want to go long, you know, you rather go short below it with the flow if you want to, you know, based on this, right? Or you just step aside, you know, there is nothing else you can do here, you know. So, and then by the time, even though if you do market order, you might have get a poor fill, you know, maybe you shorted here, but by the time you get filled, it may be 680, you know, or something. So you don't do anything basically, you know. Then price went down, right? So before open it was, so let's go back to 5 minutes. See, in this big move 5 minutes is better, you know. So now you know you can't go long at all, you know, you have to look for only short, you know. So this was the opening area, so these are old lines, you know, remove it. So anyway, so at 9 o'clock, 9:35, right, price was here, correct? Now this was also my level, and then this was also my level, okay? So based on the levels I know where to trade, but you guys don't know, right? So for you guys, you have to just come up with your own levels, right, and watch the price action based on Mbox, right? So let's assume there was no level here, right? So then what? Then price opened right around here in this area somewhere, right? And then what happened? Then it went up, correct? And there was a pullback. That's the first thing you notice, right? But by the time, if you look at here, see, in these scenarios when price is so much down, right, you will see this kind of thing, right? But it contextually now sellers are in control, so you have to ignore these things sometimes, you know, and look at this selling, right? It's so much selling is going on. So obviously, even though price goes higher, let's say here, this high, right, somewhere here, somebody is going to short whatever the levels here, you know. I had couple of levels here, so you have to use those levels to short, you know. So instead of finding a divergence in buying, you have to find a divergence for the short, not for long, you know. So this one is for the long, right? So you ignore it, okay? Then what happened? Then you're watching it, right? Because you don't want to short at the tail end here, right? You have to wait for signal, something, correct? So then what happened? You had this algo and price made a new low, correct? So now you can see here, see these things, it's diverging, right? It's not favoring short actually, right? It's favoring long actually. It's a bullish divergence, right? So you don't do anything. And look at this sell off here, right? Not much. But when price came down here, you have this algo, right? Slight divergence, right? But then you have this much selling. See, up to this point there was no selling, right? It was decreasing, but suddenly it increased it here, right? And this one also increased, correct? So now you can make a case if you see some other confluence area, you know, to short, right? Remember, you are looking for what? Bullish divergence to short, not to long, right? So these are the good sign, but then you still have a problem with this 126 here, right? So you wait, okay? Then what happened? Then price went higher, correct? And then somehow it came down, right? Whatever reason it came down, right? So that means I would assume whoever sold this algo, right, those guys held this level, right? And then look at the up move from here to here, right? Swift up move from here to here. Look at this sell off, right? And this equivalent up move, I would say halfway, but look at this buying, zero buying. Now that would be my case to look for short. Remember I said look for divergence for shorts in buying to short, not to go long like this, right? So you ignore this, and don't go long. You look for short like this, right? Now it's a case, and then you see this down move, right? And then you see double algo like this, followed by this algo, and you see this strong down move, right? That is your case to short right here. Go with the flow and you look for earth, right? So that's how it is, you know. And then later in the day you can see here also there was a triple algo, right? But more you do not want to short later in the day at the downside, you know, like going with the flow. You want to wait for a pullback, then weakness, then short, right? So which is this? See, I can literally see it here. 65, 41, algo, price went down, you have a sell off coming, you short, which is right here. See, but you ignore this divergence for long. See my point? You ignore the longs, divergence for the long, you look for divergence to short, you know. That is the key today. You need to know what is going on. See, that's why blindly trading Mboxwave, not a good idea. You have to know your context, right? See, I knew my context. First of all, if you I think I would suggest you basically watch the previous part of this video, you know, my recording for my regular videos, you know, for my members. Watch that video and you will know what is going on and why this happened, you know, and from where it happened, you know, all this thing. Then you exactly know what to do, you know. And then I had a this levels, the moment the level held, which was my level, I know it's going to be a trend down day, you know? And this was a short, you know, that you can take based on Mboxwave, right? And then you can hold it, you know, up to the closing if you want, based on this, right? And that be all for today.